So, welcome to the Regal Eagle Report.
We are Team 2869, a diverse and inclusive team located at Bethpage High School.
This is a podcast where we discuss the growth of our team during this year's game, Charged Up, as well as interviewing international teams.
We are aiming for our podcast to be an outlet to interact with other teams and collaborate on varied ideas and thoughts.
For this week's episode, we will be interviewing Steampunks, which is Team 7717 from the Dominican Republic. So, why don't you guys introduce yourselves to our podcast?
Hey guys, I'm Jose Pachon. I'm the team captain, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity to talk with you guys.
Hi, I am Maria Milade, and I am media captain, and I'm also very happy to be here.
Perfect. So our first question is, what is your team's origin and how was your team founded?
So 7 years ago, first Regal League was introduced in our school,
You go first, and
for the next 4 years we participated and no issues. But in that 5th year, when some of our members reached an age too high to participate in the first Regal League, they were left wondering how could they still participate in the first community and what other competitions they could target for school. And one of our FLL alumni saw other first robotics competition teams in the countries and tried to show that idea to the school directors and other students who might be interested in that idea. And after some talking and convincing, the school agreed to start a first robotics competition team. He gathered the students and started working on the team.
Perfect.
Great. So, is there a story behind your team's name? If so, what is it?
Well, basically, STEAM represents science, tech, engineer, art, and mathematics. Additionally, Steampunks represents a fantasy genre that mixes science, technology, mechanics, arts, among other things, to create a robot with a particular style. So basically, that's how the team name came to be.
And the idea of STEAM came from a way funnier story that as the team was founded, they needed to find a name for the team. And in the classroom that they were brainstorming, there was a poster of STEAM, and they had about half an hour left to decide the team name, to write it up in the platform. And they just started looking at stuff around the classroom, and they saw STEAM, and they were like, okay, we're a team that does robotics, that's STEAM. We can find something related with STEAM. And after some research, they found Steampunks, and we're like, okay, that sounds like a good name. It sounds logical, and they got the name.
Great, nice. So, how many years have you guys been part of the FRC community?
We have 5 years.
5 years, nice.
But you mean the team or just us as members?
Your team in general.
Oh yeah, the team has been since 2018.
So, is your school district affiliated with FLL teams or FLL Explore teams? If so, how many? Or things like that?
Yes, currently in the school, we have 2 first Regal League junior teams and 1 FLL team, which we mentor. I myself am a mentor of the first Regal League team, and other teammates are mentors of the first Regal League junior teams. And we basically started that since we came from that, we know the value that it has for the kids, for the school, and for FIRST, and we wanted to give back to FIRST and our school by helping those programs grow.
Nice. So, what was your guys' initial reaction to this year's game?
Well, when we first saw the game reveal, we thought it was a bit too simple compared to other years, but then as we started brainstorming and seeing how complex it was, we changed our minds.
So, transitioning to your robot, what are some mechanisms that your team is planning or has implemented into it? Are there any special mechanics that you guys did this year?
I think the most important mechanics that we have introduced this year is that we previously only had worked with tank drive, and this year we are working with an octagonal drive system. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's basically a mechanism system and a tank drive system combined, in which we basically just lift up the robot in mechanism wheels to be able to change from mechanism drive to tank drive. And that has been the challenge for the year, mechanical wise. And also, the current team members have never worked with pneumatic systems, as in the previous years we haven't used it, only in our pilot season, but none of the current team members were in our pilot season. So that has also been the other new mechanism that we have used this year, robot-wise.
Got So like one thing we know our team is struggling with is like the cone grabber itself. So are you guys like trying to implement that in somewhere? Like is there like a design process going on behind that or something like that?
Yes, our cone grabber or grabbing mechanism has gone through several changes. At first, we took 2 days to decide what even our initial prototype was going to be, and then our first idea was first to do simply a simple pneumatic grabber that could simply 2 arms that closed, and to have a rotating system so that the cones could, no matter in which position you grab them, go to their natural top position. And the cubes were not going to be really a problem. But then we found that it was maybe going to be too heavy or too hard for us to put it in our arm. So we also started considering doing 2 arms that rotated like this to grab the things, but we also had the same problem. It was not going to be able to fit inside the robot. It was going to be difficult to start with objects inside the robot in the start of the game. And then we came back to the original idea of the pneumatic system that closed and opened, as it is the one that is most easily done in a small scale. And also, we also decided on the pneumatic system that opened and closed, because if we did the arms that rotated, it was going to be difficult to grab both cones and cubes in the same way.
Yeah, got it. So, what regional are you guys attending?
It's like an off-script question.
We're going to Long Island 2nd Regional this year.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool. We'll see you there.
So,
In Hofstra?
like Hofstra, like SBPLI?
What?
Like, is the regional at Hofstra? Like Hofstra University?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So basically our team does this thing where we can buy your or whatever, like, so basically we were doing this thing where we can purchase your, like, whatever you would need that you can't bring on the plane or like ship, you have trouble shipping. We would offer to buy it and then bring it to you in Hofstra if that's what you would like.
Yeah, we could
If you're
definitely
interested in
discuss
that.
like
Yeah.
further details.
We could
about
discuss
that.
further if you're interested, but so what are some
I'm not
awards?
sure.
What?
I'm not sure if we're gonna buy anything really. I think maybe batteries. But thanks for the help. We'll reach out to you guys if we need anything.
Okay, no
Thanks.
problem. Perfect. So, what are some accomplishments or awards your team has won, or yeah, sorry.
Well, in the 5 years we have won the Rookie Inspirational Award, also Team Spirit, and one of our alumni won the Dean's List Finalist Award. And we have, in all the competitions we have been to, we have reached the playoffs, which is a great accomplishment for
Wow,
us.
that's a lot.
Okay, good.
Okay, so moving on from that, what are some of the ways that your team has like gathered sponsors for the competition seasons?
Most of our sponsorships are mostly through contacts inside of the team, mostly by people that we know that are in high positions in companies that could be or are willing to give us any type of sponsorship. And we reach out we send them a letter and just go back and forth to see if they're willing to give us sponsorships. And we also sometimes go to them to show the robot, our initiative, what's your mission, all of that. But I think most of our sponsorships are through contacts of our team members.
So do you guys like usually call them or go in person to like speak with them?
We first I'm gonna give them a letter. We send a letter to them, and then about a week or 2 weeks after sending the letter, we call to see if they have already some kind of response, to see if they want us to to show more about the team, as we cannot talk all that we could want to talk in the letter. And basically, if they want to hear more about the team before taking the decision, and then we just go back and forth until something is reached.
Okay, got it. So like, what are some like fundraising or even like outreach initiatives you guys are taking as part of your team?
Well, most of our fundraising activities are done through the school. We do a lot of food sales and merch sales, and we participate in various school activities to kind of bring joy and to bring people together as a community. And we also try to incorporate like our colors and more information about robotics, and all in all to make everyone like want to join, the community of STEM.
In terms of outreach, we try to work with many local non-profit organizations. One of those organizations that we've worked with the most is one that is called Tapitas por Quimia. It's basically an organization that, for an amount of plastic caps that are recycled, they give a free chemotherapy to children in need. And I think that is the non-profit organization that we've worked the most since. And basically, we are raising funds for many other nonprofits and helping them in activities when personnel is needed, mostly.
That's great. So, what sparked interest in robotics for your team?
Or like even for you individually?
Yeah.
Like what made you come to the team?
For me personally, as I told you before, I joined First Regal League when I was in 5th grade. And the original reason why I joined the team was because my friend joined the team, and I wanted to be more time with my friend. But then after being in the program for a while, I found out that that's what I liked. And I simply stayed in the program. I was still a small child. Like, I did not know that it was something that you could live for, that's something that you can study in college or something like that. And then when I grew older, I joined FRC team. I had now in mind studying engineering, and I knew that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And several other teammates have gone through the same or similar process as me.
So
in my case, I didn't join like very early. I recently joined, and it was a very fun experience. I joined personally because of the food spirit the team has and how fun it looked, and also because I wanted to basically see if I really liked working with technology, and it turns out that I do, and it has helped me a lot prepare for what I would like to do in the future as a career, or like what I would like to pursue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So bouncing off that, do you think that a lot of your alumni have pursued higher educations in STEM, or like has robotics helped them in do you think their future lives?
Last year for Germans, we actually checked the number of students that have gone into STEM careers after being in the team, and around 50% of the team members have gone to STEM careers. Our last captain, perhaps, he's currently studying computer science in Stanford. But we have also found out that many team members don't join the team necessarily because they are interested in studying STEM, but because they simply find it fun. Our first captain, for example, is currently studying psychology, and we have both extremes. We have a lot of people that are going to study mechanical engineering, like myself, and we have a lot of people that are going to study other non-related careers.
Got it. So because you guys are an international team, do you guys think it was hard for you guys to gain ground or gain funding or something in that aspect?
I think as a third world country, it has been hard in some ways, as our culture is not as accustomed to this type of events. And also less companies there are first of all less opportunities to buy materials, get sponsorships, opportunities to learn and all that. Especially, for example, only 4 teams have been in the Dominican Republic, and one of those teams already disintegrated. So there are only currently 3 teams in the whole country, and that makes it hard. It's like we only have 2 other teams to learn from and to join our forces to do more stuff. So I think that makes it harder when compared to other teams that do have a lot of teams closer by.
I think we already touched ground on the funding aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So as like you mentioned, you're one of the only teams in the Dominican Republic, and we personally do a lot of outreach. Like currently we're doing STEM kits for underprivileged or like to spread STEM equity, and currently we're like partnering up with Developing Africa. It's a place where like they basically like fundraise for like African like schools and stuff like that. So we were wondering like next year maybe would you be interested in like helping since like we would like create the STEM kits, we would buy everything, we would just need somewhere to send them out to. Like if there's any place that you know of where like STEM equity is needed and like there's not a lot of like STEM like schools and stuff like that, like we would provide the STEM kits and you could just send them out.
Yes, of course, we would really like it. We have a group of students in the school that basically focus on this precisely. It is basically they try to incorporate technology in low resources areas with low resources and access to technology, and it has really, we have seen the impact it has had on those kids and how like they're actually really interested in pursuing careers in those areas if they had the opportunity. So we really appreciate to be part of that.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll definitely reach out to you guys about that.
Yep. I think that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
it.
That was great. Good job, guys.
Do you guys have any questions?
Oh, and to what regional are you guys going?
So we're going to SBPLI 1, SBPLI 2, and the NYC regional.
So we'll see you at the second one.
Yeah, we'll see you at the second one. We'll come find you guys.
But yeah. So I think that's it. But thank you guys so much for coming on. Sorry for like the technical difficulties in the beginning. That was like
No worries.
But
It was nice meeting with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
3 weeks.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah.
good luck with your robot and your season.
Bye. Good luck.
Bye.
Recording stopped.